All right. Welcome to session 10 of Arc 2. I believe we're on 10. Is this 11?
Let me scroll to the bottom of my notes. We are on session 10, yes.
Nice, nailed it.
Does anyone have sorry, in
Yeah,
the
go on.
in the play area it's like bright white around the table?
You might need to
Table's
relog.
black.
I'm not getting that,
Okay.
no.
I will relog.
It's black around my table.
Really?
That's
I
how
see
it
a
should be, I think.
Well,
Really?
it's like wood. It's wood, then the void is
Yeah,
there.
the void is black for me.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
The
Got it.
table's in the void. Like we're in an Eldritch horror kind of thing, right, Jared?
Yeah.
Just the void.
I'll invite you back.
Oh wait, it was
Weird whispers.
Lovecraft, right?
Oh, H.P. Lovecraft made Eldritch Horrors.
Yeah. I was too specific last time. Oh, I have my D2 inspiration though.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Things keep like failing to load for me, and I still have this like weird wicked white background, but okay.
You know, I
I'll
wonder.
just zoom in far enough.
Well, let me go. Hold on. Let me end it. It might be like when I save it, maybe it messes it up for you. Let's see. This is worth exploring because I'd like to have you. Okay. I'll invite you all back. And hope for the best.
Nope, still problematic, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'll just zoom in so I don't get blinded by the light.
Blinded.
Jinx.
All right. Well, hopefully things sort themselves out. That's really annoying.
Send me another invite. It did not work that last time.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe when you change maps, it'll help.
Progressing here.
Because it has to reload everything.
Yeah, I'd hope. What happens if I... Well, actually, I don't know if I can do it. Okay, I think we're all in, yeah?
I am in.
Everyone else is in? Good. Cool. Okay, so who would... actually, first, you have a D2, Dan. But Tom, you have a D10, if you remember. Inspiration. For your guess at H.P. Lovecraft's
Right,
Golgoth.
yeah. Indeed.
So mark that down. Those are valid for when you need them. They're not per session.
Ooh.
The only
Oh, I
inspiration...
have a forever D2.
Yep.
Oh,
The only
shit,
time that
yeah.
inspiration is temporary is with like Bardic or like I give you it for doing a recap. Speaking of recap, who would
Where do
like
I even put this? My God.
who would like to do our recap for a D4? Any takers?
Mhm.
I'm the same every session. I will do it, but I want to give everyone the opportunity to first.
Well, if we have no takers,
I'll give it a go.
All right.
All things considered, at least as far as my memory is concerned, so we begin on the recovery of our confrontation with members of the Shade Watch. We decide to revive one of such those individuals from unconsciousness in order to learn more about what they were doing and who they were trying to kidnap and what this overall plan is. After a certain point of the conversation, Felix and Therathari break off to go find more members of the guard to actually apprehend these individuals, while Iris and Jara stay back to learn a bit more and investigate more. Iris takes some time to feed one of these prisoners about 9 different lemon tarts.
Indeed.
Altogether, there was some relatively mixed knowledge that came out of that. Seemed like most of the party was under the impression that the Shade Watch were, as the name suggests, pretty shady individuals. Iris came away with sort of the impression that they were more just like a group of vigilantes, and this kidnapping was an isolated incident. But that was a discussion for another time. At some point, after resolving all of that, and the 2 members of the Shade Watch were taken away, the group resolved to head out east to go take care of a task for Meryl, in which there was scrolls that she had asked us to procure from an abandoned site. We took some time making our way out to there after retrieving our horses to find that the place was chained up, locked up, and altogether the environment of a horror show. We spent some time debating how we were going to get in, what with the different corvids all watching our every move, until Iris decided she was just going to go up to the gate and put her eye down and just have it start scouting. This eventually led into Iris and Felix turning invisible to scout around the ruins of the old town proper, and we discovered a number of strange, not exactly holy, but I don't know if eldritch would be really the right word for it either, though eldritch inspired they may be. A number of weird amalgamated humanoid creatures with incredibly superhuman speed, some of them with jagged wings and giant jaws and fish heads. At some point, the party realized that they were in a little over their heads as far as what we were going to encounter, so we regrouped and started heading back to town to really properly plan our excursion back there. That's kind of where we left off.
Perfect. You can take your D4. Woo. So we are picking up. You guys are just entering into the city walls of Anneswood, passing by the caravans of Shadewatch that are coming in from the day's prospects. The caravans of people who seem to be doing this digging. And what was once a torrential downpour has now kind of lessened into a moderate to light drizzle. So, soaked through, for sure, you and your horses make it back in this sort of light rain, and we will pick up as you're entering into Anneswood.
So, something I want to do is talk to Meryl, see if she knows anything about what we just witnessed, if she can provide any insight or help us plan for how to combat them.
Were those things natural? Do those exist normally?
I think from what we learned, what we saw there, they're more like an unholy kind of creation. I mean, I guess they're natural in the sense of that they were created by a god of chaos, but I also don't think they're like a natural occurrence, as in it's something that should happen like all the time.
I've never seen anything like that, if that's what you're asking, Iris.
Yeah, definitely like never heard of anything like this in particular happening.
Okay, that helps.
Jared, what time is it right now?
Therathari will tell you you just got back right after dinner time, so 6:50.
I'm wondering if we should go see Merle now, or if we should try to see her in the morning.
I think we should see her as soon as possible, just so we have more time to plan. We don't know what we might need to do until we talk to her. Unless you have a better idea of where to get information.
No, I'm just not sure. I mean, she's kind of old, right? They go to bed early. I'm just not sure if she's even awake right now.
I don't know if the typical like old person rules apply to her. She seems very unique.
I mean, it's right by where our inn is, so I think it's at least worth a stop.
Yeah, we can at least see if she's awake.
Okay. Do you want to leave your horses at the Hearthflame Inn, or do you want to bring them along with you to the Shadespire?
I think I would like to
I think
leave.
we park them.
Yeah, leave them
Okay.
with
Horses need to recover as much as we do.
Yes.
Gimetti.
Yep. Okay. Gimetti will take them. Make sure that they're good to go for the next time out. And you head over to the Shadespire. One thing you notice on your way to the Hearthflame Inn, as you kind of come in, again, I guess I erased it, but you would be coming in from this way, mainly. As you come in, you notice that when you get to the center sort of monument here, looking down the road in which you just earlier today accosted, or helped arrest, really, 2 individuals members of the Shade
Hostage
Watch.
is a harsh word, Jared.
Yes. You notice that both duplexes have sort of the tape around it, kind of signaling that this is an investigation area. And there looks like there's pieces of evidence, like markers placed. And you don't see anyone there actively right now, but rain is kind of coming down, and you can see a scene has been set up, at the very least.
You guys want to go that way just to see? Like, we could still go to the Hearthflame, but you want to walk by just to see what's going on?
I think it might be best to distance ourselves from that right now. Like, I don't think we want to bring us in any way, shape, or form in relation to that at the moment. Because
Okay.
like the Shade Watch said that they were going to like cause problems for us, but
They
it would
don't know
but it'll
who
take
we
a
are.
few days. Well, I mean, they might be like taking tabs on people who stop by. I don't know.
All right.
I think for the time being, we got to let that situation maybe cool off a little bit. That's at least my opinion. I don't know about anyone else.
Perhaps at a distance would be fine, but I could go either way.
I can send my eye if we're really curious.
I'm fine. But let's just go straight.
Okay. You head towards the Hearthflame Inn and sync up with Jametti, get your horses off into dry stables where they'll be taken care of, washed, cleaned, and fed. Then over to the Shadespire. Entering into the familiar echoey chamber that is the old temple or whatever this building was, and seeing the completely polished, featureless interior circular building kind of built in the middle of this. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go up to the place where there was the opening last time in the spire, and I'm gonna knock. And I'm gonna,
Okay.
Meryl, we went to Old Town, and we got a few questions for you that might help in our quest there if you got the time.
As you go to knock, you notice you're kind of hitting a few inches away from the actual stone, like some force field. Doom, doom. Not necessarily making any purchase with the actual stone underneath.
Yeah, close enough.
At the first, nothing happens, and it takes approximately 5 minutes, maybe even a little longer, for the door to appear in the same place it disappeared before, and you hear and see the familiar sort of servant butler of Meryl. Good evening. May I help you?
Howdy, yeah. Our group on the request of Meryl went down to Oldwood, and we just had a few questions for her that might help aid our quest for her to retrieve that scroll based off of what we discovered there. We're wondering if she had time to have another chat.
The lady is a bit indisposed right now. If you'd care to wait in our waiting room or come back in the morning.
How long would the wait in the waiting room be?
When she gets in these moods, it's tough to say.
I turn to look at the rest of the party.
I don't mind waiting.
Well,
Oh, what were you gonna say there, Thari?
We've done a bunch of nothing today. I guess wouldn't hurt to do more.
We did some scouting, Therathar. I think you're being a little harsh there.
Yeah, we also like not solved, but we stopped a crime, or when we tried to stop
Wow.
a crime. We failed.
We
on both
apprehended
counts.
some criminals, though.
please, come in.
I come in.
Alright, we'll go in.
Okay. You all enter into the familiar looking waiting room, which you were, I believe, there this morning or the previous day.
The previous day.
Yep. There is, that counter is no longer stocked with breakfast kind of coffee items, but instead desserts. All kinds of desserts. And you are waiting. Would you like to do anything during this waiting time? It might be a short rest. Who knows? Is there anything
Yeah,
specific?
Felix is chowing down on some desserts because he's pretty hungry.
I guess if it's only like a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna take if it's like a short rest. I'm gonna take out my book on Shikumo and try to read.
Okay.
Get some reading in.
All right. Anyone else?
Is this from The Sims?
It is. I was just looking at it. It's just in a playlist, but we'll take it.
I'm like, I recognize this song. Yes, Iris is just waiting. She feels like she took too many tarts the last time, so she's not taking desserts now.
Okay. The cat is not there, unfortunately, this time. All right. So, you guys spend the better part of an hour. You can mark off a short rest if you've used anything and want to keep it.
Do I make a roll for my book?
Sure. You can make an intelligence roll.
Oh, good roll. 18.
Okay. This is your Shikumo book, correct?
Yeah.
So where you last left off, you sort of started to understand that the author is sort of feeling outcasted and just started discovering, after some time in the trenches, if you will, that there's some peculiarities with the people that grow up in Shikumo. They're
Yes.
kind of younger, they age slower, they're taller, kind of stronger, really like... What's a good example? Like, you know, like a classic gladiatorial human being, like super jacked and all that. Like stereotypical, you know, very cut, whatever. The only information you find in skimming through this time, additional to that, is... I don't know why my thing keeps doing that. There is some belief that it has something to do with the water that they drink. This guy has started to do experiments on it, and with mice and other like small rodents, and feeding them water in routines from local springs. Some of them come over ailments and sicknesses pretty quickly, while the control groups don't. So he has a suspicion that it's something to do with water. There.
It's interesting.
I love this. This is great. That's The Sims. Perfect for the waiting room. But yeah, after probably about an hour, marking off a short rest if you needed it, the butler comes back down and says, "The lady will see you now. You follow me?" And he'll lead you up. And actually, from the spiral staircase going to the second story, you are automatically put in to the office of Meryl. As you step in, you can see the cluttered mess. The crystal has since moved, and you can see she's taken a piece of the telescope that was in the glass case behind her desk, and it's affixed to her desk. And she has a bunch of various focal point lenses that are just various sizes on her right eye, and she's zooming in with these pliers. You can see floating above her is hanging kind of in the air is a little toolbox that she's picking things out of and placing things in. And then her little mouse servant thing is fetching some things for her too, kind of bringing them, silently communicating with her. The butler kind of pushes you in and shuts the door, and you're just left there in awkward silence while she's tinkering. Still silence. She hasn't acknowledged you.
I'll go.
Oh dear. Forgive me. Let me put this away. And she'll open her coat and put her tools in there. She'll take her glasses off and put them on the desk. She'll swipe her hand and the toolbox vanishes. Oh, please, have a seat. Forgive me.
Pardon the late night intrusion here, ma'am. We just went and had a look at Oldwood, and we had a few questions for you that we're hoping that you could answer and help us achieve the goal of gathering that scroll for you.
Oh, I wasn't aware there would be questions, but I'll see what I can do for you.
Right. Well, we went and investigated and saw that there was all sorts of like inhuman abominations there. We're just wondering if you knew anything about them.
Uh, no, I thought it was abandoned. No, like thought it was
It, it certainly
abandoned.
wasn't abandoned, um, but it was. It seemed like it was the reason it was abandoned is because something about the drowned one, and he like summoned some of his entities into that city, and so now we have like some really inhuman beasts roaming around the city now.
Oh dear, I've heard of the drowned one though. And she'll like flick, and a book will fly out of the shelf and open on the table in front of you all. And she'll like flip her finger without touching the book, and the pages will turn. Drowned one, drowned. Oh yes, here. And she'll turn it towards you and push it forward. And she'll say, "Well, according to this, the drowned one is a champion of Tharisden. I'm not sure what he's doing in Oldwood. You'd know more than I would."
Right. Does the book have anything about like the kind of beasts or creatures that he summons and the most effective way to fight against them?
Well, if you're talking this drowned one beast, I'm not too sure, but if you're talking more Tharisden, perhaps they're sort of abominations from him?
Possibly. Felix and Iris, can you like describe what you saw? Maybe that'll help.
I can do that. I should still have my all-purpose tool charged, so I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, and I'm going to do my best to recreate the abominations that we saw back at Oldwood.
You can see she looks pretty shocked. I mean, she's not like taken aback, but she's like not. She's surprised to see that thing exists so close to Answood. Oh,
Right. So as you can see, this is the kind of thing we were seeing throughout the town, and so obviously we're going to have to exterminate if we're going to get to the church. But we wanted to make sure we came back fully prepared to do so. So any information on the best way to fight these things would be appreciated.
well, I can tell you about Tharsden. Probably already know it, but he I should change it. This is like uppity. But I'll leave it off for now while she speaks. He his followers are devout, more so than any other deity of chaos I think I've seen, or anyone's seen for that matter. They feed him, whatever that means, energy, life essence, magics. They all kind of go to him, and oftentimes it leaves them permanently scarred or twisted and mutilated. It seems like that's what's going on there. I'm not sure how the drowned one mixes in. I do know that the Great Reckoning, nearly 20 years ago, probably tried to resurrect him. There's no records of it, but if there's his followers are in town nearby, I can tell you that Oldwood itself, long ago, pre-Great Reckoning 2, going on about nearly 60 years, I'd say, it was evacuated. Most of the people there either left and formed part of Answood and helped it grow, but most of them just disappeared. And it was described as one day people went kind of mad. And fearing for their lives and the safety of their loved ones, people fled. And the Luminous were supposed to investigate, and they locked it up, from last I heard.
Right. Yeah, I think this is what they went mad with. So, do you know of that these like changed people? If there's anything that we should be aware of with them, or anything like that? Any additional information about like what happens to the people?
I don't know particularly, but I can tell you if you're kind of sucked into the madness, it's hard to free yourself from it. And I'd imagine these creatures are working to increase the power of Tharsden, or the Drowned One, and they're probably trying to find more sacrifices or followers to help achieve that end.
Um, Another thing is that we saw birds there, lots and lots of birds that seemed to be watching, patrolling.
What kind of birds?
Iris?
Still recast my minor illusion to recreate the corvids. I don't know if these were crows or ravens, but they were very perceptive.
Now that's no work of Tharsden or this Drowned One. I presume that's some powerful magic caster, making sure things look okay from a distance. But that kind of magic, it's usually probably within the Old Wood.
Right,
Did
there
you-
was a lot of them. Yeah, if that's any, like there was dozens probably.
A lot of times with these magics, they hop from species to species or animal to animal and use them as sentries and can freely control one versus the other. If you're saying all of them were watching you, then that's different. But if one of these creatures was watching you and sounds like some archmage or something is using Oldwood, maybe they're responsible for all that's happened.
Well, Felix, you and Iris were in the actual town. Would you say that like all of them were watching you, or was it like one of a kind?
I only know what Iris told me. I actually wasn't really looking at the birds too much. Iris?
Well, when I first approached one of them, Felix and I were invisible, and after I crossed underneath one of the wooden bridges, it looked like it stared right at me. I think it knew where I was for a bit, and then I moved off and it just kept watching that direction. So, I think there might be some.
Was there any
They're very
si-
concerning.
was there any signs of some powerful magics on that you've noticed, or was it just these birds?
There
There was
were,
a green glow.
yeah, that too. Certain points within the enclosed space were lit up green. I'm not sure why. There were also some inscriptions on walls written in something that I think was blood.
Oh dear.
Well, right, Iris, I think I remember you saying you tried to like copy those.
I think, yeah, and she will remove one of the stones that she had etched all of those images into and attempt to recreate them from there.
Yeah, Felix will also take out one of his daggers, which he put the text from the sign on. Like when we were first
Yeah.
arriving.
Yep. Oh, give it here. Let me see. And you hand it over, and she'll take her glasses and inspect. Huh. This is abyssal.
Does that
It's,
line up with everything we've been discussing?
Well, supposedly, Tharsden is trapped in the abyss. Deepest parts of it. So
That's a
probably
good thing. Right?
it's good until he's unleashed. I'm not sure if that's what's going on here, but I do know that I keep switching accents. Jesus Christ. She'll hand you back the dagger and the what'd you say, stone?
Yeah.
That you, she says, "This is the same language I'm expecting my scrolls to be in. If you find them, but I understand if you're backing out now."
Well, given the danger of this mission, now way more dangerous than you thought, is there any way we could get some help on up front in accomplishing this goal? I don't know if you have anything that might be useful for us to have for this.
Let me think. Okay, she'll take a second. Well, if you go to the Basilica Magna over there, that they might have holy water you can borrow or use. But I have only one of these, and she'll flick over a necklace case from her shelf, open it up, and kind of slide it. This necklace, if you spend enough time with it, will essentially prevent you from being frightened or charmed by giving you advantage on the save, essentially. So, you have a necklace, when attuned, will allow you to roll with advantage on any spell effects that have to deal with being frightened or charmed. If these creatures are trying to get new followers, this could help you.
All right. Well, we appreciate the help, and I think we will go over to the Basilica Magna and see if we can get some holy water, which might be helpful.
I'll consider factoring in this newfound danger in your reward, should you still choose to stay on this path.
I don't want to speak for the rest of the team, but I think it's important that we deal with this.
It seems like the kind of
threat.
thing that will become a bigger problem if we don't. So yeah.
I think we have the time for it.
All right then.
I think anyway, this might be something the archive would be interested in, Therathari. If we do find any other useful documents, so I think it's
Agreed.
worthwhile for all fronts.
Meryl, also, do you remember where in Oldwood this church is that we should be looking for? Because I don't think Felix saw any building that looked like a church while he was in there.
I think it's in the very far back of the village. It's one of the first buildings they built.
Gotcha.
He usually has probably some resemblance or semblance of a clock tower or bell tower left. I'd hope.
All right. Well, I'll be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I think knowing what building and kind of making a beeline there is a good idea.
That's probably our best play.
Well, good luck.
We appreciate your help and your information. Do you happen to know what time the Basilica Magna closes?
They, for worship, it never closes. But the bishop is usually there in some capacity most of the time. Only late at night, probably, he'll leave.
All right, I think we probably should head over there next, and if holy water takes some time to prepare, maybe we give them the heads up that we need it.
Yeah,
the
pick
day
it up in the
before.
morning.
Yeah.
I guess this is out of character because Felix would probably know this, but is the bishop part of the governing structure of this town, or?
So the way the hierarchy of power works in all of Turia is obviously at the very top is the synod, and it's a pious. It's ruled by, by religion essentially. It's a theocracy.
Yeah.
And arms of the synod are in the form of bishops, high bishops, and septons, right? So every town, every bastion of civilization in Turia will have a bishop, and they are the connection to the government.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
As well as obviously the priests or priestesses.
All right. Well, thank you, Meryl.
Thank you, and good luck. Be safe, and may the deities of order look over you.
I hope they do.
And with that, the door swings open, and you are ushered out by the butler who waited there, probably for the whole conversation, who knows. And you are immediately, as you exit, are back in the dark halls of the cathedral-esque building. That is the Shades.
Right. I think we go out the other exit. That way it's closer to the Basilica Magna, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds
You
good.
fast forwarding a little, unless you want to not, you can let me know. But you get to the Basilica Magna, and it is open. The doors are open. It is an absolutely massive cathedral. It's almost the same size as the one in Turia, like the Church of Turia. Like that one is huge. This one's a little smaller, but a lot of derivative architecture and stuff from there. You can see it looks newly renovated. There are parts to it that are older, but most of it has been redesigned. And in this specific city, in Answood, the Basilica Magna is centered around Arathis. Doesn't mean you can't worship any of the other 5 supported gods here. But here, you can see the scales of Arathis. You can see the shield, the shielded lady with a sword. All of this is sort of centered around her. But you enter in, there are some people in the pews, vast rows of pews, who are silently praying, whispers you can hear as they clutch ornaments, necklaces, and they pray. And you can see at the very front, there is a man, old human man, very much in his later years, probably early 80s, late 70s, who has a cap on, a white cap, and white gowns, kind of ceremonious gowns, who you would recognize as a bishop, for sure. And he seems to be attending, lighting some candles on the raised platform, as well as attending the large center statue of Arathis at the back center of this enormous church. What do you do?
Alright, I'll walk over to the bishop.
Good evening, my child. How may Basilica Magna help you this evening?
Good evening. My companions here were interested in acquiring some holy water and any other potential artifacts and or items that would be useful in going up against some dark entities.
This holy water you request, how much of it will you need? And what sort of ailments are you attempting to solve?
Well, we're attempting to handle a small problem that seems to be occurring over in Oldwood. So, probably a decent amount.
Yeah, does it help with like mutation?
The holy water helps against most evils, from piercing the veil that is the soul, whether that be possession, mutilation, or any of the above. Holy water can help provide a shield for that, if used correctly and aptly. The Basilica Magna is prepared to give you 3 vials, but we will need some time to procure them. When would you need these vials of holy water?
Well, we were hoping to go back tomorrow morning, but if that's too fast for you, we could wait, I guess.
I believe the Basilica Magna can supply these 3 vials of holy water by tomorrow morning, if you are to come and pick them up after sunrise and morning services conclude.
All right, we could do that. Do y'all have any other items that might help in fighting evil besides from the holy water?
If you come to our morning service, perhaps you may leave here with the blessing in favor of Arathis, which may aid you in shielding your minds and your hearts from whatever evil may lie in front of you.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yep.
Well, we appreciate your help, and we'll see you for service tomorrow morning.
I look forward to seeing you all. Stay safe.
All right, I turn you as well, and I'll turn to the group and say, all right, well, I don't know about you all, but I'll probably be here tomorrow morning. Better safe than sorry.
At the very
Um,
least, I'll see what type of service they have.
I don't think I've ever been to a service before.
This could be very informative for you, Iris. This might be good for you.
I'm looking forward to it.
are we out of the building?
Oh yeah, if you want to be.
Maybe like walking out.
Okay. Once we're out, Felix will say, "Is anyone getting like really weird vibes from that bishop?"
Not really. Why?
He seemed like
Aside from the massive echoes in that
Well,
cathedral.
that's a given. That's not his fault. But I haven't talked to many bishops in my day, but he seemed very like monotone, almost like Iris, in terms of how he was speaking. Trying to say robotic, but
Is that not normal?
well, for you it's understandable, but I would expect a human to maybe talk with a little bit more, you know. I just, or I guess I don't know if he's a human, but I don't know. Got weird vibes.
Well, maybe he saves all of his passion for his sermons during service.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, we could check him out tomorrow morning. See if he still seems a little bit off. But I think some holy water does sound good, taking it back to that town. So I'll take
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I'll take all the help we can get. I'll come to service tomorrow. I know this is also the bishop who cut the luminous presence here, which seemed to cause a lot of trouble. So I don't know. I'm just
He would also be appointed by the king, right? So
Synod.
he would be appointed by the
or the
synod.
synod. All right, that's true. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't
I think-
want to look a gift horse in the mouth. You know, that's an old farm saying.
What?
Basically, I mean, he's giving us some vials for free, and I don't want to like insult the man who's giving us free things to help. Is essentially what I'm getting at.
That has to do with horses how?
Right. Well, if you look at a horse that is gifting you with kindness in the mouth, you might get bit, and that's not good.
Duly noted.
Do horses normally come bearing gifts orally?
Only if you're good to them. So that's why you should always take care of your horses.
And what kind of gifts should we expect?
A smooth, good ride, and they actually listen to you. And sometimes they just kind of show up when you really need them.
Those are amenities that don't often get delivered by mouth, though.
Right, I'm saying the horse brings that gift, and you don't want to look at him in the mouth because you might get bit, which would be bad.
But why would you look in its mouth if you were not expecting anything to come from it?
That's why you wouldn't, because you wouldn't want to get bit. I'm just saying, don't do it. It's just like it's like a cautionary tale.
Don't
No.
look in a horse's mouth. Okay.
Right, but especially if they're bearing gifts, because then that might sour the gift.
Oh. I believe I am understanding.
There's a little bit of nuance there. I think once you get a little more experience, you might get a better understanding.
I wouldn't broke her.
Okay.
We should also, before bed tonight, go to the bar and get some more of those shade shroom shots, so we can be fresh and limber in the morning.
Well, we should also stop by the front desk and see if there's a package left for us.
Are we expecting something? Oh, right.
From the Luminous, they said if there was a reward.
Yeah.
But I also think if the Shade Watch are expecting that we should go up disguised, so that way they think
Yeah,
it looks like someone else picked up the package when it's really one of us.
I can do that. Anyone you would want me to disguise myself as?
some random person. I don't know, someone who doesn't look anything like us, really.
All right. Well, if you see anyone on the tinier side walking around, point them out, and I will try to
Well,
assume.
You could, I mean, if you have like disguise self or something, you could make yourself taller.
Yeah, but not that tall.
I guess that you could just be a short man,
Yeah,
or
you have to stay the same size with this guy's self.
if you do like a dwarf or something.
Yeah.
That
do
way, like we have no dwarfs in our party, so that might be a good alternative.
Sure.
Okay. So where are you guys heading?
Back to the inn, right?
Well, did we want to do some shopping? Maybe we have a lot of coin laying around. We could probably buy something or stuff that might help us out.
Well, we might have a reward too, so we might have more
true.
coin.
Okay, yeah. Let's check for that first.
Yeah, I think. I mean, and Therathari, what time is it again? How long were
It
we?
is.
You were there for an hour, so it's approaching 8 p.m.
Right. 8 p.m. shops might be starting to close down too, so we might want to
Get a move
prepare
on.
in the morning after the service.
Oh, that too.
I don't know how late they stay open in the city.
If you want to look on your way back, you can kind of gauge. Most of them, especially due to the rain and lack of foot traffic at this hour, are probably closing doors.
Okay, yeah, maybe we can come up with a shopping list tonight and then get the stuff quickly in the morning.
Whoever has the necklace, it's called Necklace of the Strong-Minded.
I took the necklace, but would we like to discuss out of character or in character who should get the necklace?
I do not want the necklace. I don't need it. It would do the least for me. So,
Jara is not the wisest of individuals, so I think it could be beneficial. I think those are wisdom saving throws for Charmed. And when I say not the wisest, he is less than average wise.
All right then, Jara, you can have it.
All right, I'll take it.
you earned it with all that smooth talking. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Well,
She might have something for us.
it's always to ask and have them say no than to regret asking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, certainly.
So let me know if you
Jack,
can see it. It's
what's
called,
it called?
Necklace of the Strong-Minded.
Necklace? Yes, I can. Add.
Oh, by the way, Therathari, I don't know if you want this back, and I'll pull out the sending stone. It might be useful to have tomorrow, but you can have it for now. Give it to whoever, and I'll give it
Alright.
back.
I take it back.
Okay. It is now in your inventory. All right. With that, what are you guys doing? You're going back to the Heartflame Inn?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think our strategy should be we go up to our rooms and then Felix, you change into the dwarf and go downstairs to pick up the package.
How do I prove that I'm part of?
We just give the name, right? I mean,
I'd
who
rather not.
else? Yeah, like, right. That's the name. You just give the name, and that should hopefully be all that they need.
I hope so. I'll improvise if not.
Okay. You, how are you disguised?
I will go as a burly-looking dwarf.
Okay. You saunter your way up to the front desk where Julia is waiting and just chilling out. Oh, hey.
I
How are you this evening? Are you looking to stay at the Heartflame Inn?
no, I got myself a room. I'm looking for a package. I believe it's labeled. I'd rather not.
Let me check our logs here. I did just get in for the evening. She'll open a notebook. You said the name is I'd Rather Not?
Yeah. It's an inside joke.
You're not playing a prank on me, are you, pal?
I'd rather not.
She'll laugh.
Excuse me?
I-
I'm looking
to
for
be-
Mr. Freely.
To be clear, I
P.
am deadly
Freely.
serious here. I am looking for a package.
I don't see anything under the name I'd Rather Not, despite that being quite the name.
How about I'd rather you not.
Yeah, nothing in there like that. The last package we received was about 1 p.m. this afternoon for... well, I won't share the name, but I'd Rather Not is not on here. I'm afraid your package hasn't arrived if you're expecting it.
All right. Well, thank you, and let me know if you see me.
What room are you in? I can notify you when your package comes if you'd like.
My pals and I got 2 rooms, and I'll give her the numbers. I don't know if you ever told us what rooms we're in.
I did, doesn't matter though.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I will notify you when this comes in.
All right. Thank you. It might not be me picking it up, just so you know. But it'll
As
be one
long
of us.
as they can provide the name and, the package, be okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll give you one last weird look as you leave.
This be an accent of a future character, please.
I love it. It's great.
Bloody hell.
Felix, rocks fall and kills Felix.
A dwarf rises from the rocks.
A stone dwarf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'll head up my room.
All right, so you are in your room with Iris, and I guess Jara's in with Erithari. Unless you guys want to go to the bar and see if you can get some shots or whatever.
I think I'd like to do that like right before bed.
Okay. Did you want to have a talk with Clyde?
Well, I think first I'd like to. Do we have anything to discuss? Like any plans? Like, do we want to like make a battle plan or like what are we doing? Like when we get there tomorrow?
Right. I don't know how stealthy we could be as a group, but they did seem to be distracted by loud sounds. So I'm wondering if we could use that to our advantage to kind of like lure them away from where we want to go.
Yeah, and the invisibility did seem to work fairly well. So while I know we're not all capable of that, I may use that.
Right. I think someone who's invisible should be on like the distraction group, while the rest of us who have to remain visible make our
Right.
way.
So maybe Iris and I can go to different parts of the town and just sort of run around distracting them while you guys carry out the mission.
I
What if-
think it should be like a trap that you guys can go in and set up and then trigger and then get out of there to come join us. I don't like the idea of being separate for too long in that place. It sounds dangerous.
That sounds nice in theory, but we don't know how many of them there are. I don't know if we can rely on a trap.
What if we could lure just one and see how easily they are to be dispatched? Surely the 4 of us could take it with our blessings and the holy water and all that. And
Yeah, we
then
could.
Perhaps it's possible to continue to lure them. If not, we should at least know more about how to deal with them.
All right, that's a good idea as well.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually.
I do have my alarm spell, which could be used to make an audible noise in a certain area. If we could figure out how to make that work. That could serve as like a distraction if need be.
Can you, like, what sorts of triggers can you use for that? Like, does it have to be a person who sets off the alarm?
It's just a tiny or large creature that touches or enters the area I designate.
Oh. We could do something with Alfredo. You could have the alarm be up on a building, and then he just constantly flies into the building.
Right, and I could designate who sets off the alarm, so I could make Alfredo set off the alarm. I do like the idea of trying to see if we can somehow lure them one at a time. But apparently they scream, right? We heard some loud screaming
They
coming.
do. They scream. Yeah, that's true. If one of them senses us, I feel like it won't be long until they're all there. I think setting up an alarm with Alfredo on like the opposite side of the town that we want to be on is probably our best bet of going in and out.
Either that, or we like set up a defensible position that that'll give us the advantage when we go into the fight and make it easier to dispatch them all.
Yeah, we could get up on the roofs. I don't know, Iris, did you see any of them like jump or climb? I didn't. I just saw mine scream and run.
The closest thing that got to me was the one with the fish mouth, and I left right after. I don't think I remember.
They looked fairly capable athletically, but I don't know if they're really made for climbing.
Actually, can use disguise self. So if you two go invisible, I could maybe disguise as one of those creatures. That might give us a way to infiltrate in. I don't know, Therathari, do you have anything that would allow you to kind of blend into the area?
I do not. Really, the only thing I can do is make it more obvious where we are.
Therathari, I might be able to brew something up for you to be able to transform yourself.
I think that could be worthwhile. I mean, that might allow us to set up the trap. Like, if I can disguise self and masquerade as one of those creatures, it'll give me an hour, but I think that's more than enough time to make my way through the city.
Yeah,
with you guys being invisible to set up the alarm to trigger and then go in.
Jared, can I look through my book and see if there are any like potent transformation potions?
Go ahead. Yeah, make an intelligence check.
24.
So, what exactly are you looking for? Potent what?
Transformation potions. Something that would help Therathari blend in.
There
or
are
invisibility.
So there's no invisibility. There are concoctions that can basically are very short span concentrated polymorphs. But the concoction is not a catch-all polymorph. You have to concoct it for a very specific creature you're polymorphing into, and
like Harry Potter.
The level of ingredient requirements and expense dictate the length and the type of creature.
Okay.
Right. If we're assuming that these things are going to be damaged by holy water, Therathari, do you have any spells that do like holy magic that might be good or to prepare to help us? I'm not sure.
Yeah, those would definitely be helpful.
I do have plenty of spells that deal radiant damage, and very least undead don't like it. But I can see what I can learn here.
I'm thinking we should also be prepared for a fight should things not work out the way we planned, which has probably a high probability of happening. I do have a protection from good and evil spell. I'm not sure if these are aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, the spell does use a little bit of holy water or some other ingredients, so it's possible.
We don't even know that the holy water will work, though. I think you should have it just in case, but let's not bank on it.
Right. Well, worst case scenario, I can at least get 2 people at a time. Actually, I can only get 2 people. Hey, Jared, question: If I use the spell. What is it like? The one that allows twin spell that allows me to do 2 spells at once. But if it's concentration, does that still work? It allows me to like target multiple people with the same spell as long as it's like a one.
No, so the way twin spell works, you're not casting 2 spells. You're literally just adding another target.
Okay, so it would work if I twin spell protection of good and evil. It could work for 2 people then.
Yes.
All right. Amazing.
Alright.
So yeah, and you would roll concentration for 1 spell, obviously.
All right. Well, I think I know the effects of this protection of good and evil. They have disadvantage on attack rolls, sorry, let me rephrase that. They have a hard time hitting you, and you also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. Since I got this necklace, and since Felix, you said it wouldn't do that good on you, if we do get into a fight, if Iris and Therathori want to get close to me, I can cast this spell on both of you, which would then allow you to have those advantages for at least a duration of any encounter we might have. So I have that we could also use if we get into a fight.
I think that'll be great. Yeah, I should be fairly protected naturally. People like me, gnomes, tend to be less affected by magic sort of stuff. But if they aren't using magic, then I guess I don't know. We'll see what goes on.
Okay. At the tail end of your planning, which I imagine you're doing in one of the rooms.
Yeah.
Yes.
You hear a knock on the door. Excuse me. I have a delivery.
Oh, that someone else should get it.
Is anyone here?
Probably the
Hello?
package.
Iris will get up to the door. Hello.
Hold on, Iris. Give me a second.
Felix will go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I am. If you guys want to like scatter for a second, we're coming to the door. Sorry, I'm just getting changed.
Quickly, I have other routes.
If you guys want to just get out of view of the door really quick, I'm gonna use my disguise self from my tattoo, Jared, and I'm going to change myself to look like someone I saw passing by on the street.
Okay, make me a history check, and then I want you to describe, because this is pretty cool. This is one of your main abilities. Why don't you describe exactly how this works for everyone? They can visually.
History check, you said, right?
Yep.
I got a 14.
Okay, yeah, you can recollect somebody or an amalgamation of people you pass by to create a nondescript person.
Yeah, so I told you guys that I had that tattoo of the scales that kind of can shift on its own on my skin. But what you guys didn't know is that it was done using a magical ink that imbued it with the disguise self spell. So basically what happens is you see it was on my forearm. You see my forearms start to like glow really quick, and then you see my body start to change, and it originates on the point of my forearm, and it like cascades out. So it's like my forearm starts to change, and then it goes forward to my hand and up to my shoulder, then the rest of my body. And it's just like this shimmering kind of like temporal glow, where kind of like reality kind of looks like it's glitching, and then you have a different person standing in the spot where Jara was just a minute ago.
Please, I have other routes.
Right, sorry, I'm coming. I was getting my pants on. You know how it is, relaxing without your pants on in the room. I opened the door.
All right, you see a young man in a courier's outfit. He has a large chest that he has like kind of holding. It's pretty heavy according to his stature and how much it's affected his frame. And you see behind he has a cart of other boxes and packages and letters. Please, take this, and he'll hand it to you. And I need you to sign. Hold on. And he'll dig in his pocket. This is an official order from, what did I write as his name? Notes. This is an official package delivered on behalf of Illuminator Arwen. Please, if you will.
What was the name? Arwen?
Arwen. And he'll hand you a slip to sign, and you can see there is an official stamp of the Luminous and a signature of a man who has, as described, signs Illuminator Arwen.
I'm going to sign it. I'd rather you not.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Have a nice
And
day.
I'm gonna give him 1 silver piece. Because sorry for the wait. Here you go.
Huh. Thank you. Take care. And he'll take his cart and leave. And you have about the size of a toaster in our world, the size of a toaster, a chest. Seems pretty heavy as you move it, shift it. Feels like there's some coins in there.
Okay. All right, guys, you can come out now. And I'll drop the spell.
Felix
Okay.
comes out of the bathroom.
Looks like we got our delivery.
Oh. All right. Shall we?
Yeah, I'll put it down on a table and open it.
Okay. You see a large collection of coins, gold coins and some platinum. You also see, which I'll get to the numbers in a second. You also see there is a small baggie of some kind. Probably has some kind of jewels in there, who knows? And there is a single potion of greater healing sitting at the top. And some sort of note inside. And I assume one of you will read it aloud. It says, by the edict of Illuminator Arwen Arbuckle, comma, it has come to my attention that your group, and you can see it's like, this seems like one of those emails you get where it's
Like it's underlined and you just fill it in.
Exactly. I'd rather not has done a great service for Answood in this day. The 2 individuals that have been arrested are awaiting trial, for which your group is eagerly invited to join as witness. Should you choose to accept, there may be more reward. Enjoy these... he'll say, essentially, enjoy these rewards for you've earned them. Look forward to doing future business, and he'll actually sign it. Illuminator Arwen Arbuckle.
Ah, a letter from the Jarl. Moving up in the world, huh? Anyway, that's it. Got to go.
And it is addressed to the Answood Hold. Inside the treasure chest, there is collectively 1,100 gold and 250 platinum and a bag of jewels approximately worth an additional 250 gold.
All right.
And
So
a potion of
Wow.
greater
Oh.
healing,
how much is the platinum? Is that
It's
It's
250 platinum.
which is times 10 gold.
That's a
So-
lot of money for bringing in.
2,500
Dudes.
platinum
Yep.
or 2,500 gold in platinum plus how much was
1,100
1,100 gold.
1,100 in gold. So that's 3,600 gold.
plus another
So-
250 in gems.
So we each get 900 gold.
Did you get the 250 in gems?
Yeah, but
250 in gems should probably just stay as an item. 250 gold's worth of gems.
yeah.
But gold wise,
Iris, you want to take the gems and put it in your chest of holding
I
for
can
now?
do that. Iris will place the gems inside her chest.
It should be approximately 1,900 per person that was arrested. That should be the math. I think that works out.
It's 1,800 gold, 3,600,
They shorted us.
Hold
We need
on.
to go complain.
1,100 plus
1,100 plus 2,500.
plus the 250.
Oh, plus the 250.
Yeah,
Right, yeah,
that's
but that-
3,850. Yep.
Yeah, that's
So
about it.
About 1,800.
Yeah.
or 1900, I should say. Anyway. So you can split that amongst yourselves, and you have a chest if you'd like to keep the chest. It's a pretty nice chest. Nice chest.
Hey.
Yeah.
Us. All right. Hey, I guess we can keep the chest too. I don't know. Why not?
Oh, and the court date, by the way, is not tomorrow, but the day after. And they're waiting for adjudicator Yoal Ruid to come into town in order to try these individuals. And you're invited to be a witness, and you'll be paid for your time. Is essentially
Right,
what the
well-
letter means.
We'll see if we're still here in the court date.
Okay.
So just to clarify, I'm adding 900 gold to my inventory.
Yes,
Yes.
that is correct.
Do good things, get good money.
Cool. I just want to make sure I had it right. Well,
Really good money.
yeah. That gives us some purchasing power for tomorrow.
Right. I think we definitely have some money to buy some things tomorrow.
Iris, you said you saw some things at a shop around here, right?
Yes. There was a tent for Gilmore's Glorious Goods. It's where
Oh.
I got my torch.
Who wants the potion?
Oh, I mean, I actually, and then Felix will start getting out his his potion kits. He has 2 more. I should probably brew these before tomorrow, and he'll start brewing standard potions of healing.
Okay, you can do one of those in the evening. Okay, so go ahead and make your alchemical check, which I believe is your proficiency plus your intelligence, plus whatever you get if you have alchemical tools. Or
A nat 19, so very good.
okay, yeah. So you managed to. You only have time to make just this batch, but you've managed to use all of those resources to make 2 standard healing potions. Or I'll caveat this way: you since you rolled so well, nearly a natural 20, you can choose between 2 standard health potions or 1 greater.
I think I'll take 2 standard.
Okay, so you can add 2 standard healing potions and
agree with that.
remove one of those uses from your inventory.
I think last time I gave 1 to Jara. You get 1.
Yeah, I had
You
it
saved my
last
life. You saved my life. You get 1.
time. All right, so that's just a standard healing potion, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Iris, do you still have the one I gave you earlier?
Let me check.
If so, Darethari, this has your name on it.
Calculating inventory.
Oh,
Looking-
I do have it.
All right.
It's covered in
Darethari,
lemon
you get one.
tarts, but it's in there.
It's buried underneath the lemon tarts.
Right. Who wants the greater one?
I am without potion right now, so I will take it if that's all right.
I think that's fair.
By all means.
Yeah, you did go down last time, so it might make you feel better to have the nicer potion anyway. Don't want you getting another close brush there. Rather you
Oh,
stay healthy.
absolutely. All right. Cool.
How about a drink?
Yeah, sounds good to me. I want to chat with Kyle.
Clyde.
Oh, Clyde. Fuck. Who's
All right.
Kyle? Kyle's someone.
I think this is a good time to just take our 5-minute breather. I'll get up and go to the bathroom, and when we come back, you'll be in the bar, restaurant area of the Hearth Flame Inn.
Alrighty.
All right, so you are now in the underbelly of the Hearth Flame Inn, where there is music, joy, laughing, and food and ale spilling. You can see in the sections that were there when you first arrived and had your Shade Room shots that it's busy, and there are sections. Most importantly, sections where the Shade Watch are and others are not. And minding your business and keeping your heads down, you head to the bar where a familiar bald-headed man, who you were introduced to as Clyde, is working and mixing drinks. And as you approach, he greets you with a smile. Ah, welcome back. I recognize your faces. What can I get you tonight? I trust the last time you came was a worthwhile experience, judging by the state in which you left. And he looks at you especially. Iris. But please, what can I do for you?
Well, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'll take another shade shroom shot. I found its effects to be very nice, and I want to feel that again tomorrow.
Well, and should I make it a full round?
Yes.
I will try some more.
I'm gonna abstain from this shade shroom shot. I have some reading I want to do this evening when I get back to the room, so I kind of have to be coherent for that.
Understood. A bookworm, I see. Well, I will pour these up for you. Give me one moment. I'll start the tab, and I'll get you guys taken care of, all right? And he'll throw the napkins down, pass you the menus if you want to order. And
Yeah,
he'll
I'll
walk
order
away.
some food and like a regular drink, like a beer or something.
Okay. I'll factor that into the end price, but it won't be that much, obviously, especially now that you got paid handsomely.
I'll order some food as well.
Need food.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are in a busy bar, sitting at the bar top, unless you want to be seated at a table. Up to you guys.
I would like to be seated at the bar.
Okay. You notice there are all manner of people around you, each having a good time, it seems. And where you're seated, the bar is at the very back of the dining hall, and there are rows of seats in between it and the front of the room, which is a large stage in which you see musicians are playing, obviously. And in the back left corner, so left to where you're seated, is the section where the Shade Watch seem to congregate. And you can kind of see, after careful and calculated observation, that even amongst them, there's subsections in the Shade Watch portion.
Have their own little cliques.
See, none of them are seemingly worried or fazed by a kidnapping of one of their prominent members just this morning, which is quite strange, perhaps. And yeah, I mean, whatever you guys want to do, you can do. The Shade Shroom shots will be brought to you shortly, but fill the space if you'd like, or we can skip through.
I would just like to wait for Clyde to bring back the shots and then try to strike up conversation with him if he's not too busy.
Okay. Anyone else?
Iris doesn't have much else to invest in. She just wants to drink again.
Totally fair.
Jara is just gonna keep a sideways glance on the Shade Watch.
Sure. Okay. You are brought out your shots as Clyde comes through with a couple of shakers and he starts to pour in front of you. This may be your window here, Felix.
Clyde, if you're free at all tonight, I'd love to trade stories about Garel. We both spent some time there.
Ah, yes, you're the one who knew the sun and stars. Is that correct?
That's right. They used to work there, in fact.
Wow. Yeah, not many people know that place, let alone have worked there. Yeah, I'm free. My shift ends around, hopefully I'm out of here around 1 in the morning when everything's all wiped down. If you'd like to stick around, or...
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm right upstairs, so I'll head... If I'm up there, I'll head down around then.
Great. Yeah, I'll be here. In fact, if you want to come when we close, I'll tell, what'd I name him? I'll tell Damien at the front, to let you through. So if you want to come a little earlier, we close technically around 12, but there might be some lingerers. There usually are. But I'd love to share some stories. It's been a long time since I've been there, man. It's been great. But
how long?
Yeah. About 20, 25 years going on.
Oh wow, so you've been here for that long?
I've been floating around. I've been here for about 5.
Okay. Well, I will definitely be back to talk to you.
Great, and enjoy the shots. And as he says that, he finishes pouring them and slides them forward to you. There are 4 of them, or 3 of them, excuse me. All right, I'll be running around, so if you need me, you know where to get me. Enjoy. And he'll smile and walk away. All right, so you all take your swigs.
Time to consume.
All right, I need you all to make a con save.
$23.
Okay.
Um, 10.
Zerathar?
Somehow decent at this. 15.
Okay, actually, the only person who doesn't fail is Iris. 15 is not high enough. Iris, you drink the shot, and while you look at your compatriots, aside from Jara, you see them slipping into that weird time-warped state. You seem to feel completely normal.
Oh man, the one time you want to roll bad.
Right?
But Felix and Therathar, you are finding things just extremely funny. You're overjoyed, elated at just the small... You see a guy nearby, he goes to chug his ale, and he ends up coughing, and you see it squirt out of his nose, and that just sends you into this cacophony of laughing. Iris, you look over at Jara, who's just kind of looking at the Shade Watch, nursing a drink, eating some chicken. And, it's just not that funny to you, Iris.
Iris, do you have any more of those? Or sorry, Iris.
You don't have to
Do you
do
have
it. You're in
do you have
slow
any
motion.
more- do you have any more of those other mushrooms?
No. If I did, I would be taking them.
I hope we don't turn you into a, drug addict.
Thus far, I seem relatively in control of my faculties.
Just wait. I'm smaller than you. It'll hit.
As he says that, Iris, you notice that Felix, as he's speaking, the words shift from common to just undistinguishable muffles.
A language she doesn't know. How to turn tables.
And now that you listen, all of the conversations around you that you once could hear parts of have turned into this mumble jumbo bullshit. Just nonsense. Everything
Iris.
is taken on sort of this dark, kind of high contrast, grainy almost look. Very strange.
You look distraught.
I'm gonna cast message on Felix.
Okay, go ahead.
I can barely hear a word you're saying. Does this work better?
You hear her fine.
She's coherent? Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Does that come back fine?
Nope. It's like almost like you've muffled your ears, like you put your hands over it, and then they're just speaking like gibberish.
Felix starts like doing this to Iris.
As his hand moves across your face, you see like 5 hands appear as it like passes by, almost like lagging behind and back. It's very trippy.
That doesn't look good.
It's one. Can't hold her liquor.
Yeah, Iris, your ability to use your motor skills has been hampered pretty severely.
Oh dear.
Things to you feel sluggish, but in a very dissimilar way to how you first were introduced to the Shade Shrooms.
The opposite direction.
What are you all doing? This effect could possibly last a little while. Did you want to just stay here and talk, or you want to skip through and go to bed?
So Sarathari begins to recall more easily with the inhibitions lifted from the Shade Shrooms. Some of the spells that he knows.
Okay.
And comes across something interesting, potentially for the next day, and wants to share with the group. And he says, I might be able to traverse through the architecture.
Whoa.
Like you can walk through walls?
Yes.
Pretty cool.
That would be useful. Yeah, that would be very useful. I don't know if these things live inside, but in a
Is
pinch.
it like, can you like hide in a wall, or do you have to just like move through it right away?
I could hide there, assuming it's large enough to contain my whole body.
I guess that could be useful. That you could like sneak from wall to wall and hide if
Is it like
anything.
one wall, or like for a duration you can go to any wall?
Well, I believe it would have to be continuous.
Was
So,
there
like,
like an outer wall to the city, or no? There's like a fence, right? But no wall.
It's a wrought iron fence.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So like you have to stay in a wall in order for the spell to work. So it's like you can't leave a wall, go into another wall. It has to all be the same wall.
Correct. Though I could cast the spell a second time to re-enter.
Yeah, but I don't know. That could be useful as like a last resort. I don't think it should be like a primary thing, only because I think the town was pretty ruined, right? So I don't think there's a lot of continuous walls on the inside. But it
Yeah.
could be useful for hiding, for sure.
Yes, I believe it's all I can do to make myself less noticeable.
Well, yeah, it's something. And otherwise, I mean, you should be fairly protected with your radiance and all, plus Jar's spell.
Good chat. And Therathar is going to wander off into the bar somewhere.
That
Okay.
entire conversation for Iris was just radio static.
Yep. Iris just looks at you all puzzled, as though you're playing a prank on her.
We're like the parents from the Peanuts.
Exactly. Yep.
Wah, 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 wah.
Okay. Did you want to do anything else, Therathar? You see, as you stumble by, there are covert games of like gambling going on, of cards. Some people are playing dice, covertly, but you can hear the silent, or not the silent, but the occasional "yay" or like the "oh," and then you spot this guy in a blue trench coat with very curly brown hair. He has purple eyeliner on and like pink eyeshadow. Very eccentric, flamboyant individual who is walking between tables, talking to people and passing out cards. And he looks at you, wandering through, looks at you in the eye and immediately beelines to you. Do you choose to receive him, or are you trying to move away, Therathari?
Therathar is going to pretend to be watching the gambling.
Okay, but all right, so
as the man approaches.
makes sense. He approaches you, and you immediately smell before he gets to you, as he walks in your direction, maybe about 5 feet away, a smell of like rose petal and vanilla just leaks off of him as he travels forward. You can see as he moves in his trench coat parts, he has underneath very nice set of leather pants. He has on a white shirt, kind of button up. Looks like he's pretty well dressed, but there are these weird splotches and streaks of color in between. And it's this weird mashup of a person. And he approaches you. Oh, look at you, look at you. Good evening. And he'll extend his hand out like this for you to like take it.
Do I recognize his fragrance?
This is the source of the vanilla rose petal ensemble.
Well, no. Do I recognize where it's from, or if I had encountered it before?
Oh, make it a history check with disadvantage because you are fairly high.
Fairly high. Well, so it's a nat 3. I'm gonna go ahead and say I failed on that.
You have no idea, but something about this person makes you kind of intrigued and almost enraptured by his presence. Almost
So
unnaturally so.
Therathari is going to. Which arm was held out by the man?
His right one. And you can see a nice shiny emerald ring is on his middle finger.
Therathari will hold out his left arm. Do I know you?
Oh, look at you being all playful. And he'll put his hand down. Kind of give you a weird look at your hand as it's still raised. We haven't had the pleasure of meeting, but might I add, it is a pleasure now. And he'll kind of do a little formal bow. And you can hear as he bows, his jewelry, which seems to be tucked underneath his shirt, kind of clangs together. Make me a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage here.
13.
Okay. You feel like you know this guy, like almost as though you've been friends with him since like you were 10. And it's been like this person that you haven't seen in like years. But you had such a good friendship that just kind of ended unfairly or abruptly. And them coming back has just filled you with joy and you just really want to talk to them.
Is Therathari being charmed by any chance?
Yes. Are you immune?
He has advantage against being charmed. I don't know how
Okay.
you want to.
So yeah, what was
make
your
that
higher?
happen.
What was your higher roll then? Or what was your first roll?
13.
Yeah, because it would be you would roll regular.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are charmed by him. You are enraptured by his character. As he lifts his body up, he looks at you in the eyes, and he says, "So tell me, what should I call you?"
I'm Sarah, and you?
Thera, it is so nice to meet you. My name is Channing. And he'll give us a warm smile, and you can see perfectly straight
Channing.
white teeth. And he says to you, "So Thera, tell me," and he'll like do like one of these things. Hold on, let me change this phone. Bad timing. And he'll do like one of these things where he like does the puzzle face, and he says, "What are you doing here? Are you alone? Do you have friends with you, Thera?"
Those are mine.
"Oh, how amazing. Come with me. Why don't we say hello?" And he'll like grab your hand and you instinctually grab his. And he'll walk over with you, kind of swinging hands as he approaches the group. You all watch as Therathari is accompanied hand in hand, kind of staring almost longingly at this gaudy figure. And he approaches. "Well, introduce us."
Everyone. This is your name.
Oh, he likes to play. "My name's Channing. Thera and I go way, way back."
I can't. I don't know where, but he feels almost like a friend.
Oh, stop
Chris-
being coy. And he'll bow. I need all of you to make con saves. Those of you who are under influence. Go ahead.
Do I understand anything he's saying right now?
Surprisingly, yes, actually.
I'm making a con save to clarify.
Well, if you're wisdom, sorry. If you are under the influence, which you and Iris would be, it would be with disadvantage unless you have advantage.
Is this magic that he's using?
Most definitely, yes.
Okay, so then I would have advantage.
Yep. So then it's just a flat roll.
And you said it's a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yeah. So you would just roll a flat roll then, Jara.
Oh, come on. Big
I rolled
money.
a 9. We
I
are
also
about
have a
to be
9.
taken for a ride.
Yep. The sober one rolled a 6, but he has a -1, so a 5.
Wait, but you have
You-
the necklace. Are you wearing the necklace?
No, I have to attune to it. I didn't
Oh,
attune
right,
to it yet.
right.
You are all immediately in a split second. Recognition hits you. What once was a stranger is now a friend, a long lost friend that has come, much to your surprise, but to your happiness, to your joy, to see you. And he says, "Oh, come on, you're being coy, Thera. and all of you immediately can't take your eyes off of this figure. He says, "So," and he'll lean against the bar, kind of looking at you all. "Tell me, what brings you to Answood?"
We're just passing through, actually. We're not planning on being here for too much longer.
"Oh, how fun. How long are you staying?"
Not too long. A few
Yeah,
days,
like-
maybe.
Yeah, like
Another
another day
day.
or two.
Yeah.
"Oh, great. Short stay. Sad to hear, but I'm glad we got to meet up again. Tell me, what rooms are you staying at?"
Fuck.
Oh. The,
You are
yeah,
charmed.
Iris,
Yeah,
Iris
we'll
will
tell
probably,
them the rooms. I
Iris
don't
is
know
probably
what
just gonna
to say,
straight
but-
up be like, "Oh yeah, we're here."
Oh, lovely. And are you all together, or is there anyone else in those rooms that are waiting for you? Girlfriends, perhaps?
It's just us.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to be right back, freshen up a little, and once I come back, we'll have some drinks and we'll have fun like we used to. Sound good?
Okay.
So I wanted to go back to my room and do some reading. I don't know if, since this is probably the exact opposite of what I wanted to do, if that would like stir anything in me mentally.
No, you are under the spell of this person, and he kind of instructs you to stay put until he returns.
Mm-hmm.
And
Don't we get like checks every 10 seconds to break a charm?
Depends
spell?
on what type of charm it is.
I guess that's fair.
If it's a stronger charm, it's just lights out.
Well, stay right here, Thera and friends, and I'll be right back, and we'll have drinks like the old times. And he'll smile and trot
Weird
off.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Because Iris's brain, quote unquote, is real weird.
Sure.
Would you recognize that, like, oh, this is a person I recognize? How the fuck do I recognize this person?
I would say yes, but there's a lot of that you've experienced.
Okay.
Not necessarily with people, but with, like, places.
Oh,
and
I know
things.
that. Why do I know that? Okay, gotcha.
But fair question. And this person disappears. And after about a minute, you all kind of come out of this trance, immediately knowing what just happened.
Huh.
All right.
Look-
Well, then I think we should head back up to our rooms.
I
Fuck.
think so too. Iris is going up.
Yeah.
What are the chances that every one of you failed?
Iris
Charm
is
going to
not
be-
wise.
Yeah,
Iris
Charm
is
is
not
going to
wise.
be
No.
my Achilles heel.
Very
I feel like,
unwise.
for the rest of the campaign.
Dude, he picked the fucking jackpot, starting all the way from Thera down to the last man. All right, so you all run immediately to your room, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I had anything valuable in the room. But...
Iris doesn't have any valuables that aren't on her person.
Fair. So, I mean, this comes down to honesty, right? And I completely understand. So, what would you have left in your room would be the question.
Big things. Like, probably like my alchemical supplies. Like, I don't need those. Felix is a bit of like a paranoid guy, so he would keep most like small valuables on him, like his gems and his gold. But like the
Mhm.
bulky things that he doesn't need for the night, he would have left.
Okay.
I guess for Jara, probably the only thing he wouldn't take would be like, what does he have? Like an adventurer's pack, like the adventurer backpack starting kit that's got like all
Yep.
the travel equipment. That is probably all I would have left in my
Yeah.
room.
Anything that Iris currently carries would be on her person or in her
Yes.
chest of holding.
And Therathari would have left Elton in.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Alfredo as well.
So, Elton, Alfredo, all right, so you guys go to your rooms, Therathari and Jara in one, Felix and Iris in the other. If you would all make investigation checks, if those of you who are under the influence are making these checks, you again have disadvantage.
16.
Ooh.
8.
Natural one.
All right. So, what'd you get, Felix?
8.
Okay. Iris and Felix, immediately as you enter the room, the smell of rose petal and vanilla hits you. This person was definitely in here. You can see your sheets, drawers were kind of turned upside down. The only thing taken from your room is... Yeah. He would have swiped your alchemical supplies.
All right.
and
Scales and
then-
balances too.
Whatever would be grouped under alchemical supplies. If you would have left those there, he probably would have taken those as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And then in the other room, for Therathari and Jara, again, the smell is very strong, and you immediately realize that upon entering this room, there wasn't much for him to take. And probably the sight of a bird who chirps is scared him off. And so luckily, you haven't lost anything. However, with your investigation, Therathari, you notice a strange object has been placed almost hidden underneath your bed as you go to inspect.
I got a 16. Did I find anything?
You did not.
Under my bed, I guess.
Nope.
Okay.
And that is it.
What is the object?
I don't know. What is it, Therathari?
Therathari will bend down. Look
You
under the
pick-
bed.
Yeah, you pick it up. It's a very small, almost... It looks like a metal ball bearing of some kind.
Any idea what this is?
Can I make an Arcana check on it?
Sure.
Arcana 13.
13. You gather that this is definitely magical. Of what school and what potency, you're unsure.
Right.
What?
It's definitely something magical. I don't know if it's like a listening device or like a beacon. I'm not sure. Let's go see what's in the other guy's room.
All right.
So I mean, with your investigation checks, you guys have found nothing in the other room. As far as a metal ball bearing goes.
All right. Felix, are you sober enough to see if Alfredo can find the guy in the vicinity?
Well, I'm sober enough to tell Alfredo to do that. How well he'll do, we'll see. But I mean,
Well,
even if he finds
Tell
him,
him to
what's
go
he
for
gonna
the
do?
roses, right?
All right. Yeah, Alfredo, you smell this in the air? How could you miss it? Go look for him. And Felix will like pitch him out the window.
There's a minute where he kind of rolls and then catches himself in air, and his momentum carries him, and then holds.
Oh wait, wait, hold on, hold on. I think we're in the rooms with the fake windows.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we are.
So you go
Yeah, we
throw
are.
him out the window. Boom, boom, boom. He nails the
You said
window.
thud.
All right, Alfredo will take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as he's pancaked by his owner into the fucking fake window on the wall.
Felix, wait! Come on, you know you're on the inside of the building. Throw him out our window.
You hear the
sorry,
squeaks, the squeaks of the guinea pig whining.
Alfredo, I'm sorry. He's a little bit drunk right now. Forgive him.
Well, that's gr-
I don't like
that's
this side
cool.
of Felix.
You take him and gently place him out the window so he can fly,
Yes.
and he'll attempt to sense it. Make an investigation check with advantage on, because the scent is strong on Alfredo.
Okay. He does not have a bonus to investigation. He does have a bonus to perception, though. Oh, really good, though. Okay. 18.
Okay. Alfredo gets a whiff of the strong scent of rose petal and vanilla and begins to follow. While that's happening, in your subsequent searches of your rooms, you do manage to find, perhaps unfortunately, a business card linking to. So I made a mistake on the map. This is not Meryl's Pradium, it's Merlin's. I'll have to fix that. But it's a business card to Merlin's Pradium. It was left haphazardly kind of on the floor underneath the overturned blankets and linen.
I feel like it was Merlin's at one point.
I think it was
Merlin's
too.
there too.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but I'll
Yeah,
go ahead and...
I think after a couple of the map updates, it got changed. Maybe.
That's my fault. But yes, that is Merlin's Pradium. Okay. What are you doing while Alfredo is hot on the on the trail?
All right, what you guys missing anything? I don't think there's too much missing from our room.
I'm missing my alchemical supplies. I don't know if he took anything else. I didn't really leave much.
All right, well, at least it's not too much then. Iris, are you missing anything?
Have my senses returned to me, or is everything gibberish still?
You cannot understand your friends.
Yes. Well, hold on. I might have misheard that. Yes or no? Can I?
You cannot understand your friends still.
No. But Iris is kind of looking blankly at everyone. What's happening? I don't know what you're saying.
All right, Iris is still too shit-faced to even know what's going on here. So that.
Yeah, she wasn't much help with the looking either.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine.
I don't know.
She's kind of like putting her hand up in front of her, just watching 5 of her hand wave back.
Yeah.
Maybe Jara, maybe you or Therathari, because I'm not. I'm clear. I just threw a guinea pig at the wall. I'm not in the best mental state either. I don't know if you guys want to take a look.
Would you allow us to do another investigation check of their room, Jared?
If you're doing theirs, one of you can roll.
All right.
The DC will be a little higher, but yeah.
I'm the only sober one here. I guess I could take another look. All right. Nope. 6.
You don't find anything interesting.
Right. Well, it is
Actually,
a little bit of shambles.
You managed to find just a little pellet of poop Alfredo left as he was thrusted against the wall.
against the.
All I can really find is that Alfredo kind of shit himself when you threw him at the wall. But
Oh no.
Other than that, I think the room is clear. It is kind of a mess, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah. That's probably on me. Sorry, I'm not the cleanest.
Well, I think it's just because they like ransacked your room. I don't really think it was.
Well, it looked like this before, but we'll pretend that's what it was.
I think it's actually a little bit cleaner now. I think they tidied up while they were looking for things.
Make another investigation check for Alfredo.
I got it wrong before, by the way. It was a 19, not an 18.
Oh, that changes everything.
There we go. Oh, not as good. A 9.
Okay. Unfortunately, amidst the various smells and scents of the Hearthflame Inn and surrounding area, he loses the scent of this flamboyant figure named Channing, who by now is long gone, probably.
We won't know the last place yet until Alfredo gets back.
Alfredo will return after a sufficient amount of searching and sniffing, and will gingerly make his way through the actual window and find your lap, Felix. Wet from the rain.
Alfredo.
And cold.
I'm so sorry. I'll start petting him. Give him scratches.
He will relay to you in your sort of empath way or telepathically.
Well, actually, he can't communicate with me. Iris has been communicating with him, and she's like, she's out of order.
Oh, true. Yeah, I mean, but judging by the fact that he's back so soon, you kind of gather.
Yeah.
No luck.
You did your best, buddy. I'm so sorry. That'll never happen again.
That's what all abusers say.
No, it was an accident.
Oh no!
It was an accident.
Yeah, it was an accident. Yeah, you just tell everyone you fell down the stairs.
Dan's
No.
Jar is reporting you to the PETA section of the Luminous,
Oh,
the animal cruelty section.
All right, I'm gonna go down to the bar and see if anyone knows anything about that fella. See if we can get any leads.
Well, here's one, and I'll hand him the business card.
I'll take the business card too.
There is no name. It's just a business card, kind of like a for Merlin's Pradium. Okay. You head downstairs. What are the rest of you doing? Kind of cleaning up your rooms and chilling?
Iris, assuming Iris's vision is still being weird, she's going to spend the next couple of minutes staring at her arm and going, arm, robot, arm, robot, and seeing what happens. She's pretty much incapacitated at the moment.
Basically.
Felix will go down with Jara to help out however he can.
Okay. It's been a little while since you've had your shots, so I'll say right around now was when you're starting to come down, starting to get a little more sober. Iris, especially you are starting to feel a little bit more self-aware, and your motor skills are returning to normal slowly, and you can start to understand bits and pieces of language. The big thing for you, though, is just generally you just feel a little bit more lethargic. So in the next day, you will be minus 5 feet of movement.
Damn, you succeed on the saving throw and you get worse.
I know. That's how
It's
it is,
like
man.
that.
It's a gamble.
Yeah, she's...
The rest of you, except for Jara, feel nimble and have the additional 5 onto your movement. And you head down, Felix and Jara, to a now closing bar area. Most people are leaving or have left. The bar has some people there, but it's approaching midnight, and the time of closing is arriving shortly. The band has stopped playing, and silence amongst, or chatter and laughing kind of is left. But you head down. What are you doing?
I want to talk to... Is there a bouncer?
Yes, that was the guy mentioned to you earlier.
I want to talk to him first.
Okay. What can I do for you?
Right. Do you remember or know anything about a flamboyantly dressed man named Chan who kind of smells like roses?
Doesn't really ring a bell. We get a lot of those types around here. But,
What do you mean by those types? Like flamboyant people, or like?
yeah, the flamboyant
Jeez.
types always smelling of roses and whatnot.
Do you know anything about Merlin's Pradium?
Merlin's is a kind of a underground, let's call it a challenger arena, if you will. People from Answood and surrounding areas kind of come there on tournament nights and fancy themselves at each other and other creatures for some money.
Can I insight that he doesn't know anything about Channing?
Sure.
Man, I'm rolling like shit tonight. 5.
You can't really tell, but he seems truthful in most things he's saying so far.
All right. Well, thank you for the information. We're actually, I don't know. I think the bartender might have told you that we are going to be stopping by to talk to him about his time spent over in Park.
He might have mentioned that, but as far as I'm concerned, you still got, and he'll look at like the wall. There's a clock there. About 10 minutes, 15 minutes, so whatever you want, man.
Thank you. I'm going to head on inside.
Looking in the crowd, you don't even really need to make a perception check. It's thinned out quite a bit. There's no one that fits the description of Channing, especially his flamboyant nature.
I wasn't anticipating that.
In fact, the only people that remain largely are the Shade Watch in the back left corner of the room, who, as both of you walk through, especially at the sight of Felix, they all kind of like stare. You hear some chuckles as you walk up to the bar.
All right, you wanna ask them to help us out? You think we could put a hit out on Channing?
I would feel a little awkward about that after what transpired earlier this morning.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, let's see what our bartender friend knows. Maybe he knows some.
You can see he's polishing glasses, putting things on shelves, cleaning up. I see you've returned, and he'll turn over and looking at you.
Right.
Yeah, how's it going?
That man that we were with earlier, the flamboyant looking dude, smells like roses, name Enchanum. Have you seen him here before? Is he a regular?
He'll make a. Man, I see a lot of people in here. It's tough to place, but if you're talking about somebody flamboyant with all the makeup you're talking about, I haven't seen anybody that fits that come through here in a long time.
He was with us just like earlier.
I might have missed it, man. We were busy tonight. I don't know if you saw.
Right. Well,
Yeah, no worries.
he charmed us and robbed our rooms, and then left a card for Merlin's premium.
Really? Did you report to the Luminous, or you tell Julie at the front?
Not yet. We were just trying to find some more information about him to add to our report.
I mean, I've heard of people getting ran through over here. I mean, there's a lot of people who are conniving and silver tongue-like, but nothing that fits that description really rings a bell. Sorry to hear that, though. I really am. I can pour you a
All
drink
right.
if it make you feel better.
Right now, I think I just want to get to the bottom of it. I'm going to go talk to Julie, like you mentioned, and then see if I can find someone from the Luminous to report to.
All right, Joe,
Sure.
I think I'm gonna hang back and chat with Clyde, but keep
Yeah,
closing up. Don't let
That's
me
fine.
stop you.
So, Urel Oasis, fellow Carthian. What brings you over to the sandy shores of the Turian Empire?
Wanted to change of scenery. You know, things get a little hectic in Karth. I found it to be a lot more peaceful here, at least on the surface.
Yeah, that's true for the most part. It's a rat race over there. Everybody's climbing on top of everybody else to get where they want to be. That happens
about
here
you?
too, but you know, it's not as bad.
What brought you here?
Well, age-old story, my friend. A girl. You know, I met her when I was traveling through Turia. And, well, she said she lived here. Got to know her a little bit. And here I am. Dug my roots in. Who would have thought? It's been 5 years, and I never thought anybody could tie me down after my parents were killed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's, you know, I wasn't too close to them, but still. Once they were gone, and the only real piece holding me back was, you know, giving up, I just traveled, man. Saw the world. Used my skills I learned at the Sun and Stars and made some coin here and there. Taking odd jobs. You know,
So you worked at the Sun and Stars too?
I trained there. Yeah.
Oh. Look at that. Do you know? Did you ever work with Hilda, or are you before her time?
Oh, no, I know Hilda. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, small world, man.
Wow,
Taking me
yeah,
back. I haven't thought about that stuff in a long time.
Yeah. Well, it was good talking to you.
If you ever need a job, man, anybody from the Sun and Stars, I'll put my neck out for. You ever need a job, making some drinks? I'll see what I can do for you, bud. But wow, been a long time.
For real. What? Just wondering, do you have any family back? I know I don't. You mentioned your parents, but do you have anyone else back in Karth that you sort of like talk to?
Not these days, you know. I kind of cut ties after they came for my family, my parents.
Who came? If you don't mind me asking, who came for your family?
I have my theories, but formally I was told it was the Sakari. Apparently they were doing something shady. I don't really buy it. Like I said, I moved away from home pretty early on, as you do in Karth, traveling around the cities there.
Right.
But I know my parents. They're pretty clean cut. Just simple business owners, but apparently some kind of underground potion weird thing. They were pinned and framed or something. I haven't had the heart to look into it too much, but just seemed kind of shady, you know? And then I was
And
told one day Sakari came for them, and that was it. Shop was...
When was this?
Oh, jeez. Probably about going on 7, 8 years ago. I was traveling around, and I got the news. Came back,
Wow.
collected their things, and cut ties. That was it.
I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yep.
have connections back there, as you know. So if you ever wanted me, my friends and I, we have we sort of fancy ourselves adventurers, solving different mysteries and whatnot. If there's ever anything you'd want me to look into about that, let me know.
Maybe I will. I think, I'm sure you know. Digging a little deep puts a target on your back, and I got a nice life now. Got a lady that
Right.
loves me at home,
That's good to hear.
but I appreciate the offer. Really, I do.
Anything for you, Clyde.
If you
Good
find
talking to you.
find your way back there, just be careful, you know?
Absolutely.
Getting weird over there. But all right. Thank you. Thanks for that trip down memory lane, man. It's been, again, years, so good luck to you. I hope to see you back soon. Free
No
drinks
problem.
anytime, man. For real.
All right, I'll be back. See ya.
Take it easy. He'll turn and go back to his cleaning duties. As you leave, you're getting eyed down like a piece of meat by the Shade Watch as they laugh.
Yeah, scurry upstairs real quick.
Yep. Jara, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go to the front desk.
Okay. What do you say?
Right, Julie was it, right?
Julia. Only my parents call me Julie.
Pardon. I want to. I don't know if you might have seen someone in a flamboyant blue roses smelled like blue clothes smelled like roses. He went by the name of Channing. If you recognize that description of a man come through here.
You know what? Something vaguely familiar about the name Channing rings a bell. I didn't see anybody wearing that kind of outfit, but there was a man who came here looking for somebody. His name was Channing, the guy who came here. But whoever he was looking for wasn't here any longer or checked out a few days ago. But I remember him leaving, I think. I don't know. Now that I think about it, it's kind of like fuzzy. Must be a long night.
Well, a word of caution: if anyone fitting that description does come back in, he charmed me and my friends at the bar, and then stole some things in our room. I think you'd want to
Just now? Tonight?
Right? Yeah, just now tonight.
And what rooms are you in?
I'll give her our room numbers.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'll report this to the authorities, and your stay from now on is on the house.
But yeah, I just want to make sure you're aware that if anyone like that comes through, you either get called a luminous and get them arrested on site or something like that, because they're definitely up to no good.
Would you like to switch rooms as a precaution?
You know what? Actually, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we would like to switch rooms.
All right, we'll put you on the first floor. That's a little bit harder to get into and out of without being seen by me. And I apologize if this was a lapse of my judgment. You have my deepest condolences, and I'm really, really sorry. So
he might have charmed you like he charmed us. You might have forgotten about it. I don't necessarily blame you. This guy seems like a real nefarious individual.
ugh, gives me the chills. Well, I'll let the guards know, and we'll up our surveillance as they walk around the market. You have my word. And we'll move you down to floor 1. We'll give you bigger rooms, and again, this day is on us. Really, really sorry.
Well, I appreciate that. I just want to make sure you're at least aware, so for security purposes.
Here's your new keys, and when you get the chance, just return back the old ones whenever you want. And we'll get the locks changed and all that, and we'll get this situated. Thank you for telling us.
Right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, and she'll give you the
Now,
keys.
a different idea. All right, I'm gonna go back up to the room now instead.
Felix has joined you as well.
Felix, You say you can cast Identify as a ritual, right?
Not today.
Oh wait, not all right. I think I have an idea. We found this. Therathari found this like ball bearing that is kind of magical. If we can figure out what it is, we have new rooms, and I'll show him the keys. But if we could somehow lure the people back to our old rooms, maybe we could capture them in the act and then get some information.
Yeah, I think we could do that. Would you like me to take a look at it tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess we could do that if you can't do it tonight.
I could detect magic just to learn what type of magic it is.
Yeah, we might as well do that. I think Therathari has it. We can go back and speak with them.
All right, sure.
Okay.
Wait, did we say that in the room, like with the ball bearing right there?
No,
you're probably on
we
the way
were
there.
on
I
the
thought.
way to the room.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, we get back to the room. I'm gonna go. Therathori, do you have that item that we found in our room?
Right here.
Can you hand that to Felix for a moment, please?
Sure.
All right.
Hand it over.
I'll set it down, silently cast detect magic as a ritual, or at least.
All right, yeah. So you recognize the School of Magic to be divination,
As expected.
and you actually kind of sense some sort of scry capabilities on this object.
I will make that appear in text on a surface nearby.
All right. If we want to leave that item here, does everyone want to come back to our room for a quick? Or actually, do you want to head to? Yeah, step out in the hall with me for a quick second, everybody.
My faculties at this point, by the way.
You're pretty much back to normal. All of you have
Okay, just
cooled
a little
down.
slower. Okay.
Yeah.
We
So,
get out.
what's
into the
going on?
hallway. All right. Well, I got us new rooms. I told the innkeeper, so I think we should move to new rooms. But I'm wondering if we can't use that little item that we found to our advantage to kind of lure the people back here, and see if we can't capture them in the act of like set a trap.
Oh, maybe that would work.
I don't know. We found that Therathar. You found that under your bed, right?
Correct.
I'm wondering if we should put it back under your bed so they think that we haven't found it. And then stay in our new rooms, and then maybe tomorrow night or something, we try to set out a trap for them, depending on how we're feeling after our adventure.
I could always set an alarm in that room for the night, in case someone else tries to go in now.
I could do that too.
Why don't we set alarms on both rooms?
Right, yeah. Alex, if you want to put an alarm on your room, I can put an alarm on mine.
Sure.
And
Can I see the thing we found?
all right, yeah. We left it in the other room, back in
Okay.
your room. If you want to go in and we
Okay.
can show it to you.
I'll set the alarm and then I'll give it some time.
Right, just be careful to not speak out loud in its presence, because I think Felix said it has like a little bit of scrying potential in there.
Okay, I will keep this in mind. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead in that room. I'm gonna ritual cast alarm.
Okay, on the front door.
Yeah, on the door to the. I'm just gonna pick like how big were these rooms? Were they like?
So there's like
There's-
a common area, and then there's the 2
Mhm.
bedrooms separate. So the common
Okay.
area is probably like 20 feet. No, yeah, like 20 feet by 10 feet probably.
Okay.
And then each of the bedrooms are probably like 15 by 15 or around there.
Okay. So Iris will set the alarm for like the door and the windows.
Okay.
For the purposes of this, she'll make the alarm mental so it doesn't alert them once they set it off.
Okay.
And then she'll take some extra time and she's gonna ritual cast Identify on this thing.
Oh, sick.
All right.
All right.
Iris. Dope.
So
True
this,
artificers.
Plus.
yeah, that's good. So this, you spend time. This is in fact a concentration, like an object left purposefully to be able to be scryed upon. It is made in such a way that scrying on it is a little bit easier than in other instances, and is able to encompass a larger area. It's kind of specially designed to enhance scry magic.
Okay. Alright, so she'll put that back under the bed, and once the alarm is set, she'll leave and wait to regroup with everyone else.
Okay.
And when Iris goes in to do alarm in her room, Jara's going to go and do alarm in his room as well.
Sure. The same exact kind of format?
Yeah, doors and windows, entry points.
Okay. Without issue.
All right. And then, so I guess we meet back out in the hall. So, Iris, you got your room all set up?
Yes, I also spent some time looking at that little marble. Definitely used for stronger scrying magics. I would steer clear from it for now.
Right. All right. Let's leave it under the bed, and let's hope we can use that to our advantage. But let's go to our new rooms. They should be clean for the night.
Okay.
You all head down to the first floor, and you are each given much larger rooms. These are 3-bedroom rooms. There's a common kitchen area. There is a bath area where you can bathe. There's a tub for it. There's a little bit of running water. It seems arcane in its design. Kind of water comes from nowhere. It's not connected by anything. Very nice rooms. Much bigger than your old ones, and with nicer furniture.
Well, at least they gave us an upgrade. So, I think the only thing we lost was your alchemical supplies, right?
Yeah, but that's really honestly fine. I haven't needed to do this, but I can, and Felix will sort of wag his fingers. I don't know,
Mhm.
like
Spirit fingers.
and make a new set of alchemical supplies.
Oh, right.
materialized.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, well, that's pretty great. I don't know about y'all, though. It's more about the principle more than what was lost.
Yeah, I think I agree, but also there are thieves in every city. I mean, we're never going to stop theft, and we have a mission, so I don't know if we should stay here any longer than we were planning
I'm
on.
in agreement. I want to give it like the old college try, but if it doesn't pan out, then I'm not going to like
Right.
stay forever to figure it out.
Okay, cool.
Right, like pretty much like once we wrap up our business here, if we haven't figured it out, then I think we can just go. But like, keep in the back of my mind, you know, if we ever come across these people again.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still don't like this guy.
By the way, when you did that, like the spirit fingers, did your other alchemical supplies disappear and these like reappear?
No, those were real. Those were permanent. He's got those.
Are these permanent too, or how?
They're permanent for as long as I need them, or until I need a different set of supplies.
It would have been pretty awesome if those also disappeared, but I guess
Yeah.
things can't be always that great. It would be funny. He stole it and then they just disappeared. He's like, "Where'd they go?"
Yeah, that would be glorious.
All right. Is there anything you'd like to do in the remaining time of the evening, or would you like to take your long rest and wake in the morning?
I am going to attune
Sure.
to the necklace, and then I'm also going to read in my notebook for
Okay.
the rest of the day.
Anyone else?
I'm assuming we have separate rooms, right?
Yep, all of you are in separate rooms. You each have
Thanks.
two of these suite-like, larger rooms.
All right,
To
then
share?
I'll read in my room, in my notebook in my room, in private.
Anyone else?
With the new set of alchemical supplies, would I be able to brew the last health potion?
It would take a significant portion of your long rest to do.
Oh, okay. How long? Just out of curiosity, like how long does brewing a potion take?
Depends
Typically.
on your role. But
Right.
the lowest time is like 3-ish hours.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
The longest time could be approaching 6.
Gotcha. Did not realize that it took that long.
Especially if you're making more than one, which you are attempting to do every time you brew.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then I will just take my long rest then.
And obviously that varies between types of concoctions you're making.
Yeah, totally.
But health potion is about that time. Okay. Barathari, Iris, anyone? All good?
Iris doesn't have
All
too
good.
much else. She is just gonna shut down and try to deal with the negative effects of having shade stream shots.
Yep. For succeeding. Okay. So with that, you all spend your time to yourselves preparing for the next day, which, for all intents and purposes, should be jam-packed of action. The sun, the early morning comes. It is now Saturday. I would invite whoever is brave enough to roll on the weather table.
It's which die?
It's a D8.
Today we have an 8.
Ah.
I want to say it was also the last roll.
I think
Well,
we got an 8 last time.
I
Not
thought
totally sure.
Maybe you got a 1. I don't remember.
Maybe we
Okay.
got a 1 last time. That might be what it is.
However, an 8 happened to be a crit on this chart in a
Oh,
good
shit.
way. So it is a calm morning after the day's torrential downpour. Not a cloud in the sky even this early. As you awake, it is a nice, cool 62 degrees, very light wind chill. The sun is shining high, or not high, low in the sky at this point, but unimpeded by clouds. And it looks like it's shaping up to be a beautiful morning into an even more beautiful day.
It's not impeded by any fake windows, is it?
No. Good question. And there is an Alfredo-sized indent in the wall. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Oh,
Oh no.
It's a different room.
Yeah, not in this room. But yeah, you all wake up. Day is yours.
Therathar would like to prepare some spells in the morning.
Sure.
I'm also preparing some spells.
While you guys are chilling out, doing what you do when you prepare, you each hear a knock on your door. Excuse me, room service.
We didn't order any room service, thanks.
It's complimentary. Julia sends her apologies and has informed the kitchen to make you a breakfast and send it to your rooms. Following last night's trials and tribulations, if you will.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You open the door, and there are 3 servants to each room, and they bring in each with a tray of food with the tins on top, the coverings, and they place it along with silverware. We'll bring fresh coffee in just a moment, but again, the Hearthflame Inn apologizes for any inconvenience you may have experienced the night prior, and if you need anything at all, my name is Alicia, and I will be happy to help you in any way I can. Enjoy the breakfast. And she'll give a formal curtsy and walk out.
right. I'm wondering if maybe we can also. I'm saying this after they left. The servant left.
Mhm.
I guess we're still in separate rooms, right? Like we don't have so it's just me and Therathari right now.
Yeah.
Therathari, I'm wondering if we can maybe have the Luminous do the trap for us. And if we share with them what we know, maybe they can set up the sting and do it in our absence, so we don't have to worry about it.
Do you think they'd go for that? I mean,
I think maybe if you like flex your royalty pin, they might.
I don't know anything about the organization that Channing is a part of. It didn't seem Shade Watch, and as far as
Right?
I
Yeah.
know, the only ones
I'm
are
just saying,
Luminous.
like we have an opportunity here where we know there's scrying on our room, and they might not know that we know that. So we have the potential to lure them back in, with them thinking that we don't know about it, only to have like a trap set up. You know what I mean? And I'm just wondering if we can't pawn that off to the Luminous because we have more important things going on.
Well, I suppose we could. Couldn't hurt to ask. I wonder if the same couple guards might be outside the inn.
We could ask them. That would at least give some credibility, right? If we go to the guards that you guys worked with before.
Indeed.
I think that's a good idea. All right, Jared. Do I know? Is there a way to like courier like packages long distance?
Oh, I'm interested in this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're willing to pay the price for it and wait the amount of time. Depends what you're shipping and how you'd like to ship it.
Just want to send like some coin, like to someone.
If you want to send things like that and you want it to be protected, that would cost more, especially money or valuables. There are special courier services that the Turian Empire supports and provides. If you wanted to go private, that's also separate.
Yeah, I
as
think
far
I would go. Oh,
Mhm.
so I was saying I think I'd go private because I want to go like cross
Sure.
country lines.
As far as your options for that in Answood, they might be rather limited. However, in Tura, the capital, there were a million different ways you could send it.
I hear Karsten Trading Company.
I was just that was literally the next words out of my mouth. There is a new currying service or shipping service that has just dropped. new service dropped in Answood, which is the Carson Trading Company, and there are some people that consider it to be a premium service, and they're fairly reliable. So you could perhaps try that. However, they are new and their networks aren't as vast, so you run the penalty of them perhaps having to go a roundabout way to get to where you need to go. But all that to say, there are a number of ways, perhaps some of them more limited in some place like Answood, but you could send something with some guarantee it could get there.
I would like to explore that
Sure.
today.
Okay. With that, anybody else want to do anything in the morning before you reconvene together?
Oh, I'm chilling.
Yeah, nothing else
Well,
to me.
good.
All right, so you finish your breakfast, have your coffee and your tea and whatever you drink, and the maid service will come and clean up. You meet in the hallway, and the day is yours. Bright and early, 8:05 in the morning, ready to go.
We all meet up, right? Well, I had an idea I was talking with Therathori with over breakfast. Therathori and Felix, you guys, if you guys remember where you met those guards for the Luminous that we worked with previously, we maybe could bring this issue up to them and maybe they could help us resolve it and take a little bit of load off of us.
Yeah. That's fine with me. I'm not, and like I said last night, I'm not too concerned with whatever happens to.
Right, that's why I'm of the opinion, especially since it was a very minimal impact on us, that we could probably let the Luminous try to handle it and just focus on the larger tasks that we have.
That's fine with me. Anything that gets stuff off our plate.
All right, so I think we should do that. I think we should go to the service and get our equipment and get prepared to head over to Oldwood. Right, I think that's the plan for this morning.
That's the plan.
Yep. What time is the service?
You weren't given a time, but generally speaking, from perhaps your knowledge of... Actually, Therathori, make a religion check. as our resident religious member.
22.
Yeah, you recall most services beginning around 9 in the morning.
So we got an hour.
Only the diehards go at like before.
All right. Well, since we got
Maybe-
like an hour,
Maybe we should get there early. Talk to the bishop about the holy water.
right? Yeah, I think we maybe find the Luminous Guard, speak with them, and then head on over. If that works
Yeah.
for everybody.
Sounds good.
All right. Without much effort, knowing what they look like and where they're stationed, Therathari and Felix are able to pinpoint the 2 guards that helped, and you helped the day prior. As you approach, they recognize you, Therathari, and especially you, Felix. Good friends, the noble. I'd rather not. Good morning. You know, I should say, my partner here and I, we do owe you a drink. I think your escapade, just yesterday, and our, let's call it aid in the matter, might result in our station being lifted a little bit. There's talks of promotions for both of us, so next time you're here and we're here, off duty, of course, drink on us.
Well, congratulations. That's good to hear that hard work and good work pays off.
I trust you've received your end of the deal as well. I put in good word and tried to raise that bounty for you.
We certainly did, and we appreciate that. Of course, we weren't looking for a reward, but one's always appreciated.
Oh, duly earned. Well, what can we do for you this morning? You just coming to check on things, or what?
Fortunately not. It seems like trouble has a way of finding us. I don't know if you're familiar with an individual dressed in like blue and kind of flamboyant, smells like roses, goes by the name of Channing. But he charmed us at the Hearthflame Inn and then like stole some things out of our room. We told the innkeeper, so she might have informed the Luminous, but we have a unique opportunity to maybe trap the group that is responsible. We found that they had a scrying object under one of our beds, and I don't think they know that we know what it is. So it's possible we could maybe use that to our advantage and set up a trap to lure him back to the room and catch him in the act.
Well, it seems Answood has given you its warm welcome. I'm sorry to hear your things lifted. You look in good spirits despite that, so I assume they took things of little worth, which perhaps you're fortunate. I was informed by Julia this morning when I arrived of an individual described as such. She seems to think that she has been under the spell of this individual as well. I will regret to inform you that this is not the first time, nor will it be the last time something like this happens in the city. As we are severely understaffed, it's hard to keep things in check. I hope you understand. However, with our stations being lifted in the coming days, I will use what favor I gain and what power I seem to have acquired in this new position. Consider it a favor to you to check in on this, and perhaps something can come of it. Although I won't promise any reward for you, but if this individual does have a pattern, perhaps I can swing my newfound power and get some more resources allocated to it. As I said, things are a bit tight, and the low petty crimes, unfortunately, which is such as this, are hard to sell up the ladder, if you will.
Right, that's understood. Like I said, they didn't really get anything too much value, but we just have a unique opportunity to maybe lure them out, which might be harder to do to find them in any other way. So I wanted to pass the opportunity on to the proper authorities.
We appreciate that, and we'll do what we can to see this through. If you find anything else, you know where to find us. Just a bit of friendly advice. I'd be a little bit more careful. I'm not sure what you do or what you're doing here, but it seems trouble has found its way to you on multiple occasions, which is, you know, working in our favor for now, but a delicate thing to keep in balance, I'm sure, as you know. And while we appreciate your tips and your work behind the scenes, it would behoove you to maybe distance yourself from such nefarious actors, if you can.
But I assure you, we were in no way looking for any trouble last night. We were just at the bar, and just seemed to be an unfortunate situation. Um, but I'll certainly take your advice to heart. If you guys are interested, the room that we know they have the scrying object is, and I'll tell them the old room number
Oh, you
is
can
that
see
one.
his partner writes it down in a pad.
And the object in question is under the bed in, I'm going to tell him the general direction of Therathari's room.
Okay. We'll write that down
So-
too.
Use that information how you will. We've already changed rooms, so we're safe and away from it all.
All right. I think we have everything we need. Safe travels, and hopefully this is the last time trouble finds its way to you in Answood.
Certainly hope so.
Well, always a pleasure.
You
Yeah.
as well.
They'll look at each other and continue their rounds. Okay. Off to the Basilica Magna, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
All right,
Time
we'll
to
get-
go to church.
We'll get through this and then we'll end session right after. But you all walk towards the Basilica Magna and you notice it is a weekend, so a lot of people have off and a lot of people have started to congregate and leave their homesteads and businesses and head towards the Basilica Magna. You can see quite a crowd of people forming as the doors are open and they are sort of checking coats, if you will. You enter into the lavish grand hall in which you were exposed to the day prior, with this time the beautiful sunshine shining through these enormous stained glass windows. Colors of red and blue and green shine and kind of glow. It is a beautifully crafted church. You can see rows of people have filed in. It's still fairly early. You get there, according to Therathari, at 8:38. And as you enter, you can either sit or go towards the back. It looks like the bishop is talking to a line of people who have kind of amassed towards the front stage who want to talk to the bishop before the services start. If you'd like to join that queue or wait, whatever you'd like to do.
Well, how long is the queue?
It's maybe about 5-6 people long, and it looks like the bishop is in conversation, intimate conversation with each person that approaches.
I'll wait in line if you all want to do something else.
Right. Religion is not really my thing. I think I'm just going to sit in one of the pews here.
Yeah, same.
I'll
Iris?
join you all in a bit. Iris is going to just wander and take in church. It's
Sure.
the first time she's been in a church.
Yeah.
At least as far as she can remember.
Absolutely. You can see Iris as you walk around the open space of the congregation and walking into some of the rooms in which you're promptly shooed out of by people who work there. You notice that there is this grandiose display of wealth and power. This is, in all intents and purposes, not only a bastion of religion, but power. And you could get that in the architecture and in the money spent constructing and the quality of materials, polished stones. You can see murals have been painted on walls. There are actual paintings, like pictures of various events in like the biblical texts that surround Arathis. It's a beautiful place. Large, echoey, but beautiful. Okay, as you wait in queue, Therathari, people are slowly making the process of talking to Bishop. Time is ticking, of course, but those of you in the pews, you kind of get a seat towards the back middle, I assume. Kind of like undescript. You can see people are dressed in fairly nice clothes. Suits and dresses and things like that. Given the nice weather, people are wearing, less coats and more formal clothing. And you see there is a kind of a program pamphlet that's laid out on every seat or so in the pew. It's one long bench, but spaced out every so often. and you see it is a specific passage from one of the holy books of Arathis, and in particular, it discusses today one of the stories of Arathis kind of coming down in sort of the Age of Heroes, and restoring balance on this biblical city known as, and this will be a note check. Sorry, I have to control F it here. Okay. There's two. What did I say the difference was? Okay. Urusel is the name. Yresall. And it's like this biblical city in the texts of Arathis where it's an elven city, and there was dispute amongst half-elves and elves. It's a long story of racism and whatnot, and it fractured this society. And Arathis, as it is written, came and united them once more, effectively balancing the scales, yada, yada, yada. And that's the text that's going to be discussed today. Therathari, you are next in queue, and eventually it is your turn. The bishop greets you with a warm smile, extends his hand kind of like in the sandwich, to take yours, and he says, "Good morning, my child. Basilica Magna and Arathis smile down on you today. What can the church do for you?"
Yes, we spoke yesterday about some holy water.
Ah, indeed you did. I will have them brought to you at the end of service. It has been procured without issue. 3 vials.
Very well. We look forward to the service.
The temple of-
Therathari flourishes and leaves him alone.
He said, as you leave, he said, "The Temple of Arathis welcomes you." And you will find your friends in the seat. The service eventually starts. Are you guys doing anything as people trickle in? You just kind of looking? You let me know what you want to do.
Therathar is definitely keeping an eye out for her, Channing.
Okay.
Yeah, Felix is not paying attention to the service, and like people watching probably.
Okay.
I think Jara is. The bishop yesterday mentioned something about a blessing, so he's trying to pay as much as he's trying to pay attention as best he can in the hopes of being able to receive a blessing.
Okay. And
It's the
Iris?
first time Iris has been in an actual church, so do as the Romans do. She's going to actively try and pay attention. I don't think she remembers if she was a religious person.
Fair enough. Okay. You all sit in your pew as people file in, and the service eventually begins. It opens with the sermon of the bishop in his monotone voice, talking about the passages and sort of extrapolating them to current times. He says, in summary, "My children, while we find ourselves in these trying times, forces of evil attempting to divide our cohesion, we look to each other, to the texts of Arathis, to the unity and equality that she believes in. And we must remain strong, just as the ancient elves did when Arathis came down and united them once more. We too shall enjoy this unification, but only if we work towards it, and only if we let the love of Arathis in our hearts, in our minds, and in our everyday lives." And you get the usual spectrum of people who are like, "Oh, praise God, oh my God," and then the usual people who are like, just kind of there. Some people are really
While
into it.
the sermon's going on, keeping in mind what Felix said yesterday, can I insight the priest?
Sure, if you'd like.
See if anything seems off. Nope, nat 1. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget
no.
ass.
He is preaching.
Yep. I think he's a really inspirational speaker. I don't know what Felix was talking about yesterday.
He says the next part, which is a little peculiar and kind of catches you all off guard a little bit. Again, I know our friends, our neighbors, some of them may have disdain in their hearts and may work towards goals opposite to our own and our Lord above, Arathis. But we must not use violence to further the divide. We shall bridge it with love, with kindness, with peace in our hearts. I know some of you have lost gravely, and I know these holes in your soul and your heart can never be filled. But turn to Arathis and the teaching she provides, and I promise that void can grow smaller. And let the hate go and the love in, just as Arathis teaches us. Obviously, you get the spectrum of reactions. Then there's a period of time in which they read the text word for word, and then there's a ceremony at the end where you are invited one by one in the congregation, if you choose to put a donation, a coin, on one side of the scale and then another. And the goal is to obviously have them balance at the end of the service. It's like a way of donating, but also being equal, if that makes sense.
Jar digs it. He's going to
And-
partake.
He says at the end, that concludes our services. If you will be so kind as to donate to this lovely establishment to keep it running, half of which will go to the poor and need, and half of which will go to keep this beautiful sanctuary functioning and in pristine condition. As always, may Arathis look down on all of you, and may peace find your hearts. And the services end. So if you'd like, you all can donate a coin.
Yeah,
Gold
we'll
coin.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
So what is it?
Iris is actually not so sure why the church needs money right now.
Sure, you don't have
Swoke.
definitely
How
don't have
much
to
was
donate.
it that you're putting on there?
More specifically, as everyone is getting up to start giving coins, Iris will be like, so why are they asking people to give their money if this church is already so wealthy?
It's a good question, Iris, but I think you should just to blend in.
Right, I think it's like you do good onto the god does good onto you. I think that's kind of the inclination there.
It's a flawed system, just like everything else.
It'll cost 1 gold, by the way.
Okay.
So do you all donate? Iris, do you donate?
Yeah, after
I-
that conversation, she will.
I'd
All right.
say.
So now down to the brass tacks here, in the last moments of session, perhaps one of the most important roles of next session. For those of you who have donated, which is all of you, the DC has been lowered. For those of you who have been actively paying attention to the service and the sermon, you have advantage on this roll. I need you all to make a religions check.
Advantage. Religion, you said?
Religion check.
Yes.
Natural 20 for a 25 total.
Yo, I got a natural 20 as well on my second roll. The
Wow.
first one was a 2. Good thing I paid
Dang.
attention.
I got a 16.
16? Arathari?
A 21.
I also got a 21 with my natural.
You all, as you leave the Basilica Magna under the beautiful sun and moderate temperature, you all feel just a little bit more blessed today than otherwise would. You all have advantage on 1 roll pertaining to possession or any evil forces trying to alter your mind state and essentially try and take over you. So that will be charmed.
I don't like how specific that wording was.
Yes. Also, if you fall to 0 HP or go under, you have automatically 1 successful death save.
Okay.
I also don't like how that is a thing.
That's both very useful and very ominous.
So you have that for the duration of a full rest, so until you go to sleep the next day.
Very useful and very scary.
And that will conclude our session. Thank you for coming to my sermon.
Woo!
Right.
Thank you, church, I guess.
This is why you pay attention and give money to church.
Yeah.
Would I
Money
have
buys.
made it if I didn't give the money?
No, you would not have.
Okay, nice. I'm glad I did.
That was a
Sorry,
high
money.
DC because those are some good benefits.
I'm
They
glad I said that Jar was paying attention because my first roll was a 2. So
Oh no.
I don't know of a good way to mark this down, so I'm just checking off inspiration. I'm sure I'll just remember what that means.
You could also just put it in your notes. I'll remind everyone next week too.
Yeah.
That
Alright.
Iris listening to an entire sermon, mentally being like, "Okay, but why though?"
Yeah, really.
bye.
You're the classic kid in school, in like CCD or Hebrew school. That's like,
Stop asking questions.
but if
Wait,
God
but
loves
why?
everyone, why do bad things happen? That's Iris.
Iris trying to refamiliarize herself with modern day religion.
If God is all knowing, why does bad things happen, like these terrorist attacks?
Why is this church so
knows about
opulent and yet it asks for donations?
Exactly. Well, you have your very specific benefits from Arathis for next session, and I will see you all next week.
I'm happy to have the
Yeah.
necklace too because that -1 charisma saving throw.
I
Jar's
cannot
gonna
believe-
get.
I can't believe I took you all for a ride.
Jar
Yikes.
is gonna get charmed a lot. I feel like.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's his Achilles heel. Is getting charmed.
The action begins next week into Oldwood.
All right.
I think
Thanks,
this session
guys.
might just be called Charmed.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like it.
sure.
All right.
All right.
Take it easy, folks. Have a
All
good
right.
week. Until next
All
time.
right.
Charmed.
See ya.
Maybe not.